Well, hello. I guess we're live. I don't know if this is working. I'm about 5 or 10 seconds delayed. Let me just see if I can change the latency because it might make it a little bit easier. No, this is it. This is what you're getting. So, welcome to the Hack Shack. Well, actually, not Hack Shack today. Today it's the Shack Bar. Name to be decided. Today we're going to do something that we threatened to do about 2 years ago, which is to install a beer pump on the bar. For any of you that followed this build, it was actually a prop for work. So we had a kind of a charity pub quiz at the studio that I work in, and the guys at the last minute just asked me to build a bar, so I very quickly put together this out of just 2x4s, and ever since it's just been sat in my living room, not really serving a purpose, just getting in the way. So after over a year of working from home and being stuck in this room, I thought it was about time to install a fully working pub in my living room. So let's get cracking. So the first thing I actually did was reach out to fantastic maker James over at Molten Make. Now James is a jack of all trades by no stretch of the imagination, but one of his specialties is beer brewing and a knowledge of all things around beer. So I reached out to him and said, what do I need to get going? And he very kindly sent me a goodie box, and in this goodie box, hang on. That was about as slick as it gets, wasn't it? There we go. That's better. So in this goodie box, there we go. There's some of the things I need. A tap being one of them. Hoses. So this is, I want to say 3/8. Probably says on it. 5/16. So 5/16 line for the beer, and this is 3/8. 3/8 for the CO2 gas. There's various other bits and bobs in here, some fixings, some fastenings. We might not need all these, but we'll see. He also very kindly sent a coupler for the keg, but unfortunately this doesn't fit the kind of beer keg that I have, which is something called a key keg, but we'll come to that shortly. So that got me on my way, and then what we did was have a bit of back and forth about what else I needed to get the ball rolling. And one thing I needed was a new coupler. So this is a different kind that fits on a specific brand of keg, and this is the kind of thing that you have at home. I'll show you the beer keg in a minute because it's a little bit different than your traditional metal beer keg, and there's pros and cons for both. And a CO2 regulator. So you need to somehow force the beer from the keg into your mouth, and you use gas for that. So this is a CO2 regulator which regulates the CO2. So this is just a tank of compressed carbon dioxide. You could use compressed air, you could use nitrogen. You use nitrogen when the gas actually comes in contact with the beer, because it can actually infuse the beer and it also keeps it fresh. That isn't what happens in a key keg, so you could use anything, but we're going to use CO2. So we'll come back to that in a moment. And with all good beer pumps, you also need a dinosaur, of course. That will come in very handy. I just want to check that the audio is working because I have no idea. If someone could give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. I don't have fancy helpers like everyone else did. Just someone give me a thumbs up if the audio is working. Right. Also, of course, what we need. Waiting for the camera to live stream. Don't think so. amateur hour. I'm going to try and not swear, by the way, just for the record. Start camera. Pair camera. Pair camera with this device. No, I don't want to be connected. Oh, denied. Anyway, I hope this is still streaming, by the way. I've got thumbs up everywhere, thumbs up all round. Thank you very much, guys, much appreciated. Right, we need to talk connections. So what we have, if we can go to the other camera, and I can show you all the little hoses and stuff that we need. So this little number here is the coupler that goes into the keg. In the side here is where the gas comes in, and the gas forces out into the keg, and that forces the beer up here. So we need to connect gas to that bit, and we need to connect beer to that bit. And I think we can do that last before we connect the keg up. I think the first thing to do is install the tap, because that's the most complicated bit. So, let's see where we get to. I'm hoping it's still streaming, by the way, because I just changed over from Wi-Fi to wired. I think it's working okay. Let's just double check. Pair camera. It's almost like I had it all set up ready to go and it was working wonders. And then it wasn't. Error connecting to the camera, blah blah blah. Alright, we might have to bomb that off. Anyway, so down here we have a fridge. I got a fridge off Facebook Marketplace, which was an absolute bargain. And the beer is not in there yet. The beer is in the big fridge in the kitchen because it's chilling down as cold as I can get it. I did a bit of a dry run. It was a very wet run yesterday just to see if everything worked, and I think the beer was not cold enough. So unfortunately it was super foamy, and I was getting very frustrated. But again, I called up James and he helped me troubleshoot, and I think we're going to be okay as long as the beer is cold. So I think we should get hooked up with the pump, as I say, because that's the most complicated bit. And that's where the dinosaur comes in handy. So we can get rid of the regulator for now. Now we can get rid of the coupler for now. And this is what we need. We need the hoses, we need this, we need a drill. Ta-da, we're working. And a drill bit. Again, ta-da. And I think that's about all we need. So, I want to somehow get the beer tap through the dinosaur, and then the dinosaur fixed to the bar, and somehow run the hoses through the dinosaur. I had lots of comedy thoughts about it coming out of its bum, but I didn't want to be too childish. So we're going to try and run the hose through here first before we get everything hooked up. So yeah, I guess just drill into the base. That's not going to work. So the problem I've got here is that the leg moves. So if we can line that up so the hose can come through, then we can come out of the top. Yeah, that's the problem there. Make that a bit bigger. Sorry, dinosaur. You and I both know worse things have happened to you. There we go. So now let's see if we can get that running through. So we don't need the CO2 for now, that can go on last. Let's get the beer sorted. So if this runs down through here, what's going to be easier? Let's go up. There we go. Awesome. So that can come out and connect to the tap. I have thought this through. I know what you're thinking. Now we need the beer line to go through the bar. So unfortunately that means I'm going to have to drill through the bar. So if this is going here-ish, that's about right for a bar, isn't it? Let's drill through here. Sorry, bar. Let's hope there's no metal brackets. Why is that in there? Let's put it on drill, that's why. Give it a little wiggle. And now we'll see if this feeds through. So there's an excessive amount of hose here for a reason. James very kindly explained that you need to have a certain amount of hose to balance the pressure out in the keg. So if you just had a short hose straight from the keg to the tap, you'd just get foam. So let's feed this through. This is obviously how they install beer taps in pubs, by drilling holes in it and feeding it through a dinosaur. This looks like a really complicated way to do it, but I'm sure it's okay. There we go. Dinosaur on. Boom. I really wish the GoPro was working because I've got a really nice shot of my arse down here in the fridge. I don't think arse is a swear word. I think we can get away with saying ass. I don't want Windows. Why would I want a Windows update? Come on. Right. Get rid of all the dinosaur shavings. Okay. Now I know that this bit on here was a little bit loose for that hose, so I've just put another little bit of even thinner hose. This is actually windscreen washer hose from the car on there to hopefully make a seal in there. That's a sea lion, but you get the joke. And a hose clamp. Hose clamp for the win. Now if I've got a hose clamp somewhere that I tightened, that will make life a lot easier. Or if anyone has a tip of how to get them to fit, because I mean surely it's the right size for the job, you'd think, but it doesn't seem to work. So we should use hose clamps. We should use incredibly cheap hose clamps from eBay, which are really difficult to use. So if we put that on there, if we feed that through, but we've got a bit of a plumbing challenge here, because I need to feed this through here. Give you a better shot of that. I need to feed this through there. Make that a bit brighter. Whee! And then attach the hose onto there, and I need to make this not wobble around. So there's a couple of things we can do. We can put a bit of plastic on, and then I think one of them might be nice. And then a nut, and that looks pretty good. There we go, that's not bad, that's not bad. I didn't think that through because now I need to get the hose onto there. So I might do that first. Yeah. Order of operations. ourselves a bit of hose. Put that on first, then that. It's like putting heat shrink on. I always forget to put heat shrink on. Then put this through there, and then somehow attach this. Right, this is going to be a ball ache. No, don't want to kink the pipe. Somebody's probably really got a really wise idea about how to do this. Right, I think I'm going to put the hose on first and then feed it through the dinosaur. From the other end, right, that was a waste of time. So you see what I mean? I need to get this onto here. This is too small, so I've put a bit of rubber hosing on it, and I need to get it into there with a hose clamp. Maybe stretch that out a little bit. Don't know if this is naughty, but seems to make sense to me. And then we're going to try and get that hose into there, force it in, and then we'll see if the hose clamp does its job. There will probably be beer squirting all over the place, but such is life. We knew that was going to be expected, didn't we? See, already I feel like I've forgotten something in the order of operations. I mean, that's pretty tight on there. Right, so what we need next is that goes through there, so we can do that first. Through the little dinosaur. Whee! This isn't even the complicated bit. The complicated bit is getting the flow of gas and the flow of beer correct, so you don't end up with foam. So we're probably going to end up with foam, but it'll be cold and it'll be wet. So, and I guess it's better than flat beer. Foamy beer is probably better than flat beer for some reason. And then this, and then this, and then we're good. And we can feed this back through there. Yeah. This first, then this. No, already did that the wrong way around. That's better. That's better. Name that show. Whee! Right, now we're going to see if the beer hose will feed the opposite way through the dinosaur's bum. And I think it will, because I've got faith. Yes! Success! Oh god, this is like some nightmare game. Like Mousetrap or something. Through the bar. Boom. Please be the right way around, please be the right way around, please be the right way around. Yes. Quite a satisfying shot. Ta-da! Right. Will it fit? Yes, it will. There we go. Come on, don't be shy. Success! Right, if I tighten that down, we should be on to a wiener. There we go, dinosaur beer pump. Oh, look at that, it's even adjustable. It's like I thought it through. And it's got a little hands are adjustable as well. Okay, beer tiny, nice and tight. Tighten up the Jubilee. In the words of Dad's fixing roof racks, the world over, that's going nowhere. Right. Okay, job 1 done. 23 minutes in, and I'm thirsty. So next job, CO2. So we need to hook this up to our regulator. Insert mount up joke here. Actually, that's rather appropriate because we do need to mount it. So I've got a board here that I'm just going to screw the regulator onto. Comme ça. Just so it's not banging around. And then that goes around onto here and joins on there. There we go. So, dinosaur beer pump. How do I want that? Doesn't really matter. I don't think. I think that's the way it's meant to go. So let's do it like that. Can't help but think that those feet are a little bent. Drill. Don't drill into the bar. And then we've got some little self tappers. Nice, 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 nice. And they can go on there. How are you going to get in there? That's not practical. Let's get a nice long extension. It's because I'm so long. Boom. Always use roofing screws when attaching gas regulators to bits of OSB that are going to go in a fridge and probably disintegrate in 5 minutes. Top pro tip. There we go. That's almost like official. Cap off. And this can now go in the fridge. And that can go back on. Yeah, we're back. That's fine. You can put this gas anywhere. I'm just putting it in the fridge because it means I don't have to drill another hole in the fridge and therefore let heat in. So the fewer holes you can drill in the fridge, the better. God, that's heavy. Right, so this goes down here. closes, which is fine. Again, I have got a camera set up down here, but it won't work for some reason. Right, now we can talk couplers. So, this is the key cake coupler, and on one end we need the gas, and this is just push fit, so it literally just clips in. You can get a close up on that. Whee! Behind the dinosaur butt. So this just clips in. That's it. And then same with the beer. But first I need to drill through the fridge to feed the beer line in to the fridge. So we shall do that. There. That was less terrifying than I thought it would be, drilling a hole in the fridge. I mean, it's just polystyrene, so as long as you're not going near any of the plumbing in the back, I think you're okay. So, coming out of the dinosaur butt into the fridge with the hose. So again, lots of hose is deliberate, 20 feet of it. There we go, we're in. Oh. It's almost like professional. Stupid GoPro, you're meant to be showing the people this. There we go, we're in. That needs to be more secure. And what better way to secure something than the glue of hot? Sophie would be proud of me. So we'll leave that warm up, and then we can glue down the dinosaur. I'm going to grab the beer, because we obviously need the beer. And as I say, it's in the big fridge. So this is a key keg, and what's different to a normal metal keg is that the beer is inside it in a bag, a little bit like a wine box, and the keg itself is plastic, and you feed gas in between the bag and the keg. So some aerosol cans work like that, so I think like deodorant and things work like that, antiperspirant. And that basically compresses the bag and squeezes the liquid out. So the coupler goes on there, and you have gas in, beer out. And the way this works is put it on, twist it, and then push the handle down, which pushes the plunger down and breaks the seal. So we'll do that now, and then we'll realise that it won't fit in the fridge because it's too tall. So that's definitely coming out the back of there. We're probably going to get some leaks. Right. In theory, this will work, but I'm going to move my laptop out of the way because I've got a feeling it's going to get messy. Nothing a little beer mat won't solve. Absorb all the drips. So I know that the first few are going to be completely foamy, so we need to kind of run some of that through just to get the balance right. So there's going to be a bit of wastage, but it's still drinkable. So I've just turned the gas on, and what that's doing is compressing the inner bag inside the keg, and hopefully we'll start to balance that pressure out. So if I turn this on now, you can hear the gas coming out, and you're getting a little bit of a drip, and I can see bubbles on the back there already, so we need to do something about that. But in order to make life easier, James says I need to put a tap on, so I've got a little tap here that I made earlier, which just screws on nicely. There we go. So at the minute we've got the bag, I can still see the bag compressing like that, so you just need to wait a little bit, because obviously there's all the gas that's off let from the beer, and we need to balance that out. So the gas pressure is about 5 psi, which doesn't sound a lot, but basically it's just trying to balance out the gravity to get the beer up the pipe and into here. And in the meantime we can fix down the dinosaur. I think we're almost there. There we go. Now, as I say, it's going to be foam town for a bit. That's the regulator closed, that's the regulator open. Might need a bit more gas, just as it equalises. So obviously the gas regulator regulates the gas, so you can turn it up and down and increase the pressure or decrease the pressure. Get our glass out of the way. So at the minute I can just see bubbles coming through here, slowly clearing that out, and then when it's all liquid we should be able to pour a pint. So this tap is fully open at the moment. There's a little regulator on the side there. It's just regulators. I'm going to turn the gas up a little bit. keep going till that's equalised. I may need to call in the big guns. We may need some professional help. Where's James when you need him? Is he in the chat? Ah, there we go. Boom. We have beer. It's a little bit gassy. But as I say, that was to be expected. Boom. But it's cold. And it's wet. I'm just going to turn that gas down a little bit. There we go. It's on about 5 psi now. I did turn it up to try and get all that air through. Oh, now we're talking. So this beer is Rhinelander. Obviously from the Rhineland. It's probably not. It's probably from Birmingham. Can I get a whoop whoop? Probably not. So my favourite beer is Kolsch, which is from Cologne, and you're not going to drink pints of it like that. That's just crass, and they get too hot and too flat while you're drinking them. Obviously there's no challenge of that here. So you're meant to have these little glasses, Kolsch glasses, which is much more sophisticated, and what's great about these is you can drink a whole bunch of them and you don't realise how many beers you're drinking and you get really smashed. So let's try and pour a proper Kolsch in a proper Kolsch glass with the right pressure and not ridiculous head. Oh, the last bit. We failed on the last bit. So yeah, that is pissing out there a little bit. I wonder if we can just persuade that closed. Where's my trusty Jubilee clip? Marked improvement. That's about as good as I can get. It needs a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of balancing. Oh man, that's nice. I've been waiting for that for a very long time. Again, Dr. James, the expert of all these things, says you just need to kind of tweak it a little bit so you're balancing it. It's a balancing act between how gaseous the beer is and how much that wants to vent off, and then the pressure of the CO2 that you're putting in, and getting a balance in that. And it's not real time, so there's a bit of a delay. If you increase the pressure here, it kind of takes a bit of time for it to work on there, so you don't get straight instant results, so it can be a bit frustrating. But I can see the beer in the lines is clear, and maybe turn the regulator down a little. There's regulators everywhere. I mean, that's alright for a home poured beer. I can live with that. Like I said, those little once it hits your lips, those little, oh my god. So that is delicious. I think we need a close up. Can I do a close up? So Redemption Brewing Company, London. Yeah, it's not from the Rhineland at all. There we go. I ordered this online. Whoa. So I got the beer and the regulator. So, sorry, the beer and the gas regulator and the coupler for the key keg, all from the same place, and they came in like 3 days and delivered. There's a few companies now who are reluctant to deliver kegs to average Joes, members of the public, without a license. I don't know if that's to do with lockdown, but previously you used to be able to order kegs quite easily. Now they're kind of being a bit more strict on it. So this place is great. I will get the name of it because I've forgotten it, obviously, because it's me. And if I can just get my email up. And I'll tell you what those guys are called, because they're very helpful. And National Mobile Bars. So obviously if you're in the UK and you're after this kind of setup, National Mobile Bars have everything you need. And I mean, I've seen those little desktop beer things that you can get, which are all the rage now. I think everyone's buying them in lockdown, but they're like 200 quid or something. So, and then you've got to buy the beer all the time. Obviously James sent me the hoses. I bought a regulator that was $50, and it was $50 for the coupler for the key keg. I got a fridge, a full-size fridge under counter for 30 quid off Facebook Marketplace, and then the dinosaur was free. So to set up a proper beer pump was less than 200 quid, and now I can put whatever beer I want on the keg. I'm not limited to the ones that they give you with those little miniature ones. Whatever I can get in a key keg, I can have on draft at my own. However, because James sent me the other coupler, which is, I believe, an S-type coupler, which is more of a traditional beer cellar coupler. So this is for a more traditional keg. I could get any keg I wanted. So again, if you can source the beer and it fits in the fridge, you basically got your own bar at home. This will last 4 to 6 weeks shelf life. It's pasteurised, and it's in a fridge, and because it's in the key keg in the bag, it won't go flat. It's not like a traditional keg where the air is above the beer. Because the bag is collapsing as the beer is reducing, air never gets to it, so it never oxidises, it never goes off, it never goes flat. So that's one of the real benefits of it. One of the downsides, of course, as you've seen, it's quite difficult to pour initially. It seems to be getting easier, so let's just do another one to see if it works. So you get that initial bit, and then there's a bit of gas, so yeah, that's worse than it was before. So I obviously need to tweak this to get it right, and play with the gas flow. That came up way too quick, which tells me that the gas is too high. Yeah, it is. It's crept up. So like I was saying before with the gas values, it's not instantaneous. So now the gas has gone way up to like 8 psi, which is obviously too much because it came up too quickly and was too gaseous. So I'll turn that down. I'm going to leave it for a bit, maybe like 5 minutes, and then try again. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy a delicious beer. So that's it. That's how you install a beer tap at home. Obviously, you can have whatever you want for a tower. That's the genius thing of it. The little screw things, there's flat ones and there's curved ones. So obviously you could have a tower that's curved like a traditional beer tower, or you could have something flat that it's mounted on. I did a test last night just on a piece of wood. You could screw into it. It could be anything. It could be metal. You could actually fill them with ice, so you have that really nice condensed thing, and actually is functional as well because it keeps this whole thing cold. So this now, because I've been touching it and playing with it and fixing it for an hour, it's quite warm, which isn't helping the beer. It's probably making it foam up quite a lot. So if you were to chill your tower as well, it would make it all way better and look cooler as well. So we've got a bit of a leak that I need to fix. and then I just need to make sure that gas is balanced. So yeah, I mean, just looking at it now, it's dropped down to like 4, which probably will mean it's a bit slow to come out. In fact, I can see in the lines now the beer's dropped down, but we'll give it a go and keep trying. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask. What's next for the bar, you ask? Nobody asked. Some little optics on there, you know, where you hang like the spirit bottles upside down, and then I could just be like, shot of incredibly cheap whiskey, sir. Bells, or maybe teachers, treat yourself. There we are. The fridge top is great because it's like a countertop. I wonder if I can bring the camera on. Oh my god! Please don't unplug, please don't unplug. Oh. This is like so yeah, here's my fridge. Beer line coming out of there. Just a little hole drilled in. And now I can like chop limes and stuff on there when people want Cuba Libres, which is the drink of choice when you're not having delicious beer. In answer to Jim's question, hi Jim. No, this is not craft beer. This is proper beer. This is traditional, actual beer from Germany, made to the purity laws, where you're not allowed to mess around with it. Craft beer is just an excuse to hide the taste of bad beer. Laptop under a beer tap. Yes, Jim, I moved it out of the way. Pay attention. I moved it out of the way when we were installing the thingy stuff, but then it came back because I needed to ask questions. Oh man, that's good. Right, that's enough shot of that top of there. Look, here's me chopping. Chop, 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 I'm chopping. There we go. The reason I can put a laptop under here, Jim, is because I'm so confident in the quality of my workmanship and just how bone dry all the beer dripping out of my crap fastenings is. Get a little close up of the bum. Boop. It looks like the dinosaur's having a little bit of an accident. I think a drip tray might be a smart idea, so we could actually capture all the drips instead of just having a towel on the floor. But you know, this is phase 1, so it is leaking a little. There's little leaves in the way. Not much I can do about that. It is leaking a bit out of here where the hose goes in the back, as I say, because I don't think it's the right size hose. But I do like the adjustability of it. Look at that. Oh, just lean it back, a bit of height. There we go. Problem solved. What else have we got? His butt is leaking, you're right. Yes, proper beer in Europe, specifically German. German beer is the best beer that there is. That's a fact. You don't have to hide the flavour of it with 7 billion tons of hops, like all pale ales is. And does this work with IPA too? This will work with any beer you want. You have to manage your temperatures and you have to manage your gas flow depending on what type of beer it is. I wouldn't run... Oh no, I suppose you could run cask ale through this, but I would much rather just have a draft pump that you just hand pull That would be really classy. They're really expensive though, like an actual proper cascade pump, but that's a different story. But yeah, you could run anything. You could run cider through this. So what's great about the key kegs is they're not sponsored. Is that you can run anything you want through here. I think you could potentially even fill your own. Correct me if I'm wrong, James. But you could get anything you want in those key kegs, in those barrels, which is great. Is that an orchid at the window? No, it's not an orchid. You know it's not an orchid. We've had this conversation, Al. That is Carlos. Carlos, the lonely chili plant, is probably seen better days. What? I don't know what that is. A spider plant. I don't know what they're called. That's quite a nice shot. Let's get a bit of depth. Oh, there's Carlos. Yeah, Carlos lost all his leaves, but he's coming back. Let's go back to the establishing shot. Bit of storytelling. Bit of focus. There we go. This is how you make YouTube videos on your own. Extremely shoddily. That's me done. I've got 5 minutes left and I've got nothing else to say. Hi Costas. Can you run through an insulated line to the coffee table? Oh, Franco, now you're talking. Yes, you absolutely could. So I could have another tap on the coffee table. Genius. I don't even have to get up. Or I could run a bit of string to the handle and a hose to there and just like funnel it off because it's downhill to the sofa. So I could just do it that way. That makes way more sense. Yes, JP, thank you very much. So Heidi is up next. Wonderful Heidi from Slap Stuff Together / Whitehall Pottery. I'm assuming she's got a Whitehall Pottery hat on today. And I can't wait to see what she's making. If you guys are able to follow over to her channel, link should be in the description of this video. However, I'm not very good at stuff like that, so it might be wrong. JP's probably hooked up the guys and given us the proper link. And yeah, we can all go over to and watch what Heidi's got to make, which will probably be way more sophisticated and thought through than this. But it just goes to show, in an hour, you can install draft beer at home, which I thought was the whole point of this video, even if it is a bit messy and a bit bubbly. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, guys. Really appreciate it. If you don't know my channel, get subscribed. Al's Hack Shack. I make stupid stuff like this all the time, mainly around hydration. That's about it. And I'm building a car. That's me done. Thanks, Al. Remote control robot arm, fish pond pump. Yes, JP, fish pond pump. I was thinking about that. I could have chilled water in the fridge, ice water, and then have that through a proper tower. So you get all that lovely condensation and stuff on it. It'd be super cool. Or you could have like a waterfall, and then it freezes, and then it's all super sexy. But this is not the 1980s, and I'm not running a nightclub. This is just my living room. It already stinks of beer as it is. So. Thanks, JP. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Right, I'm going to go.